Opening credits. The Power of Scrum in the Real World for the Agile Scrum Master, Product Owner, Stakeholder, and Development Team. Written by Paul VII. Narrated by Ted R. Brown. Chapter 7. Sprint Planning. The Sprint Planning Meeting is a time-box meeting in which the product owner explains the features he or she would like built in the sprint, and the team decide what they can build, how to build it, and what they can commit to. This chapter will give insight into the preparation, planning, and execution of the Sprint Planning Meeting. Impediments to planning. As described in other chapters, the Scrum Master may need to organize meetings to coordinate the stakeholder and product owner if this is not happening as necessary. This is not a must for the Scrum Master and only happens if lack of requirements is an impediment for the Scrum team. Prior to planning them, the product owner's decision should be translated into user stories with acceptance criteria and prioritized into the backlog. At this point, the backlog may be complete, but in order for any of its stories to be ready for a sprint planning session, we need to ask the question, does the team have everything it needs to complete this story? There are often identifiable dependencies such as a third-party feed, specification documents, or points of contact that need to be supplied in order for a team to do its job. The best way to know if a story is ready for planning is to be aware of what the team's roles are and do everything possible to keep them focused on their role. That is, a software developer should be spending as much time as possible developing software as opposed to contacting third parties for specifications. A tester should be checking for quality instead of waiting for third-party software to come in. These are examples of impediments for the Scrum Master. A product owner will need to do as much research as possible to prevent these situations arising from the Scrum Master. Sprint preparation. There are often situations where the background discussion is necessary to keep the Scrum time boxes running smoothly. For example, the Scrum Master and the product owner should work hard to make sure that the sprint planning meeting is not the place to find out that a user story is not ready for the team or that acceptance criteria is too vague. Do not get me wrong, sometimes this is unavoidable since nobody thinks like a team of experts. However, confusion should be avoided wherever possible. For these reasons, I recommend that where necessary, a preparation meeting take place in which the Scrum Master, organizer, and facilitator, product owner, and tester.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?